Hello everyone and happy Easter. My name is Palattao. I am 21 years old and I'm from Quezon City, and this is my Eastoria. I've always just been a little bit more different than others. I've had different perspectives, different thoughts, different ideas, and morality actually. And unfortunately, that resulted in me thinking that I was alone because I would always be judged, lied to, insulted, and even taken advantage of. And that made me think that I couldn't be loved on a deep, deep level. So those painful words and actions from school would just build up for around 17 years. And then until my heart was just broken. And then my heart was just in this like molten rock type of protection. And then I developed the defense mechanism because of it. I would want to hurt you before you would hurt me. I would just be brutally honest with everyone, and I would destroy relationships left and right, and I didn't care. I was being insulting, judgmental, even destructive, and it was bad. And unfortunately, it was just actually all a cry for help. It was a heart that was longing for love, and it was just in pain. I then encountered this Jesus org called Christ's Youth in Action, and they were so filled with joy that I didn't want to hurt them with my defense mechanism. And within this org, there was this series of talks about God, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to take it because of my schedule. But then there was this one guy who told me that he could give me the talks one-on-one for several weeks. And then I said, yeah, sure. And then in the middle of it all, I asked him, why are you doing this? And then he told me, this guy who barely knew me, he told me, because you're worth it, bro. Oh, I'm worth it? Oh my gosh, stop. So that was me on the inside, but on the outside, I was just, I was just like, oh, thank you. So that was the very first time I actually felt the unconditional love of the Lord, but unfortunately, I wasn't aware of it yet. Another experience I remember actually was I was spending time with 4 of my friends from CYA, and then I just broke down in front of them. I told them about my molten rock situation where I've always wanted to be this guy who was nice and who would take the extra step. But then this one guy asked me, is this guy who you want to be or someone you always were? I realized at that moment that it was the latter. And I could just feel my heart opening up again in front of them. But then this time, I wasn't hurt. I was, just being listened to. They shut up, and after being so used to pain, I asked them, why aren't you verbally abusing me right now? And then one of them responded, why would we hurt you? And that was it. I felt the unconditional love from the Lord from that tiny question from my friend because I became physically weak at that point. And apparently that was surrender. And surrender was the key to my hope because I realized that God was the one telling me that He loves me and I was worth it. And God was the one asking me, why would I hurt you? And because of all that, my eyes were also open to the fact that I was just an idiot looking at the imperfections of my life. And I just didn't realize God was there and I didn't know God's love. And that's why I was always getting hurt. So ever since then, I've been transitioning to a building speech, or at least trying to. But then I've been kinder lately because I really feel that the Lord is with me and is protecting me all the time. It's like being raised from the dead. But I'm not saying I'm perfect. I still am and will always be a sinner. But no matter how great my sin, I know that the Lord's love will always be greater. I realized after all this that you are never hopeless with God in your life. And the thing about it is that He's just getting started with me. I'm 21 and He's already done so much. What more can He do? So to whoever's watching, I just want you to know that the Lord is calling you and bring to Him whoever you are. No matter how small or how big or how little or how plenty. Because He loves you and you're worth it. Happy Easter.